Yes, you've read that thumbnail correctly. Drift games are moving. We've also found out who's to blame for sabotaging all of our project builds this year, and we've had to make a very tough decision. We started this channel in a small shed in the Irish countryside, doing simple mods like coilovers and body kits. We put our heart and soul and every night and day into our content, and eventually, 3 years ago, we were able to build our dream home, the Drift Games Studios. As you already know, that didn't go so well. 9 months later, it burned to the ground, and this is all we have left, which meant we had to start again. Incredibly, thanks to the amazing support of all of you guys, we were able to build and open the brand new Drift Games Clubhouse within 9 months, splitting our showroom and offices here with our original shed for all our workshop duties. This year, we decided to do something even more crazy, borrowing 200 grand from the bank to buy all of our dream projects. We picked them up, everything was going great, until it wasn't, and I had to make this video. To be honest, I'm just completely f***ed off with the situation at this stage. It sits here because it doesn't run. I don't know where it is, and I've paid for it, and it's stuck somewhere. It's not good. So here we are in a garage full of broken cars, and we were running out of time, money, and space fast. Our company would have hit a big wall. This was genuinely a crisis, and I sat the whole team down, and we worked back through all the problems we may have been having. And in that, we found out the person that's been sabotaging these builds from the start. And that person is me. I've come to realize that my creative ambitions, well, they don't always mesh with reality. I have all these wild ideas of announcing cars, but I don't think a lot about how they're actually going to be built by my amazing team. And in fact, over the last couple of years, I haven't really given them the time, the budget, or the resources to be able to actually pull it off. And the fact that we've even come this far is a miracle. But after analyzing all of that, I'm going to be honest, the writing was on the wall. The sensible thing now is to roll things back, cut some of the projects, sell some of the cars, maybe even let some staff go. That's going to make this business much more efficient, less stressful, and more sustainable. That's also a consequence of the poor decisions that I've made. Even this place, as cool as it is, might be too flashy for what we need. But f*** all that. We haven't come this far to only come this far. And I am way too stubborn to go backwards at this stage. This is not the first time we've had some big decisions to make. To be honest with you guys, we put our all into this and there's no outline ahead of us. We don't know what we're doing. We're making it up as we go along. We're just going by our gut feeling and hoping that you guys enjoy it and we can keep doing it every single day. This is very much our dream and our life. So as much as these videos are flashy, these decisions happen in real life and are stressful and have big financial implications. That said, I have a good feeling about this one, that we need more space. We need somewhere that we can actually realize our dreams and build the cars of our dreams. And thankfully, due to a weird sequence of events, we found it. All right, folks, in my hand are the keys to this building. And I know you've got a lot of questions and I want to answer those as quick as I can because I want to show you what's inside here. This has happened all very fast. A couple of weeks ago, we started off by trying to renovate our shed, the shed we've been in from the very start of the channel. However, no matter how much better looking it got or how much we heated it, it was still very small. And we came to the realization that we can't make it any bigger. And the channel and the car builds that we have planned for this year, well, they weren't going to work there. You're going to have to keep shoving them in and out the door, and there's just not enough space for parts or even people to work in there. As we were halfway through the renovations, this place popped up, and it hasn't been on the market for 10 years for rent. And it's perfect. I mean, when I say perfect location, over there behind those two buildings is the Drift Games Clubhouse. And that's what I also want to address as well. The clubhouse is going nowhere. What's happening now is we're moving our shed, well, technically into a building twice the size of the clubhouse. I'll explain more. So we had a look, we fell in love with it. However, there was 4 other companies bidding for this exact building. That meant that the channel got stuck in a limbo. We put our proposal in, but we had about 20% chance of actually getting the building. That meant everything that was out of the shed stayed out of the shed in the trucks and the containers, and that's why you haven't seen too much car building in the last couple of weeks. Although last week, an amazing day, we got the phone call to say, we got it, boys. We got the building of our dreams. And now the possibilities are endless. One problem though was that I didn't have any budget to get another building, so something had to give, and I know you guys hate it, but I had to sell a car. Although I sold a car that none of you are going to care about. I sold my personal Porsche Panamera, and I got myself something a bit more reasonable and used that cash to pay for the security deposit, also 3 months rent up front, and a little bit of renovation money as well, because we're going to need it, you're going to see. So I had to get myself a new daily, and well, the way things are going, I decided to get something reliable and cheap to run. Although it is from Japan, and it's actually built by Nismo. There was no need for the fancy montage, Josh. I didn't even wash it. Yes, I got myself a Micra because I don't care about having a statusy flash car every day. I am in treble deep in this season of drift games, and I want to get the builds done. I care more about these stupid old 80s and 90s and drift cars than I ever will about having a flashy daily car, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest because this place is so much more exciting. So now you're up to speed, it's time to finally show you what we're all so excited about. Look at this place. It's huge. This is so far from where we started. This is mind-blowing. I've never had a place with an echo before, but this, look at the possibilities. Look at the space we have to do exactly what we want. I want to introduce you guys to our brand new Drift Games factory. We're calling it the factory for 2 reasons. One is it's a cool name and it's where our cars are going to be built. And 2, that's what they call units in Australia. If you guys are Australian, you know that. I think it's a cool name. So we're going to call it the Drift Games Factory. And that brings me to a very important point before I show you all the nooks and crannies and all the plans we have for here, is that you guys are what makes all of this possible. This channel is run on merchandising, it's run on sponsorships, it's run on events, and without it, none of this can happen. And that's why we're doing something pretty special for the next 7 days. We've got some really cool new designs on our website. The first is the official logo of the Drift Games Factory. We've got a T-shirt and a hoodie. We're only making 250 of each to commemorate us moving into this space. We've also got Everything's Fine. I drive 80s cars because it's quite relative to the cars that are broken in the clubhouse. And there's also a T-shirt and a hoodie of that. If you buy a T-shirt and a hoodie, it doesn't matter which one, in the next 7 days, we're going to take your name and where you're from, and we're going to put you on the wall here in the Drift Games Factory when we're doing the renovation. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and as always, guys, you know that anything you support us with, it goes straight back into what you see in the videos. You know how overexposed and how on the edge we are trying to do something like this. So if you've been a fan for a while or you're new to the channel, if you're ever thinking about buying merch from Drift Games, this would be the time that we really need it, because there's a lot to do here in the next week. Right, the plan. Now, we are about 4 weeks behind where we need to be on getting our car builds for all of the drift season and show season this year, which means we do not have the time, nor do we have the budget to go as crazy here as we did in the clubhouse all at once. We've got 7 days to turn this into a fully operational workshop and storage area. That's a challenge. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a doer-upper. I mean, there's wires just coming out of the wall. I think down in the corner there, there's trees growing up along the wall. I don't know what works, I don't know what doesn't work. The last tenants just kind of cut and run, so we have to fix a lot of stuff in here to make it operational. That said, we've done worse, and we're starting with a huge amount of space. We want to split this entire space in 2. This line here is kind of our midpoint. Everything this way is going to be storage for cars, projects, team projects, projects that we work on, personal cars, all that kind of stuff is going to go this side. And then this whole area here is going to be the workshop. So we are working with some really cool companies like Equipco, Rackzone, SP Tools to make this space a perfect workshop. We're thinking 2 bays over here with a full toolbox of SP tools in the background. We've got air compressors. We're going to have a full fab station for Neil to work out of here. We're going to have another ramp here for servicing cars. We're going to have a bunch of stuff. I I'm going to leave it as a surprise for the next couple of videos for a lot, but it's going to be enough space for us to do exactly what we want without us all falling over each other. Sorry, I'm just blurting out ideas because we still have a lot of stuff to work out, because we only saw this once at the viewing, and this is actually the second time I've ever been in the building. So there's probably a little bit more repair and changes and stuff that I didn't see the first time because I was so rose tinted of the space. But anyway, a couple of things we needed to sort was the space. We have the space now to do whatever we need to do. That's incredible. The second thing is we're going to have the resources, because we have amazing companies that are coming in to help us out to kit out this workshop better than we've ever had before, meaning we can actually have fabrication stations and the right tooling from Ortec and SP Tools and Equipco and Raxone. It's just going to be transformed. However, this is a big change for the channel. I am not deciding where everything goes, and nor is Josh or Neil or anyone, because when we got the space sorted, when we get the resources sorted, the next thing we need is expertise. Now, I've said it already, I started this as a commentator, Josh is a videographer, we're trying our best, we're have-a-go heroes, but we need someone professional to come in and help us. And we have hired a master tech who's going to run the whole workshop, decide on the layout and all that stuff. And that's one of the things I'm most excited about as well, because as you can imagine, we have no one to teach us anything. And what we like the idea of is someone coming in that's an expert who can teach us and get our skill level up, but also teach you guys along the way as well. And that person will be introduced in the next video. He's a drifter, he's an engineer, he can do pretty much anything. And for me, it's very exciting that he's going to take lead of all these projects to make sure they aren't broken and they aren't all over the place. And also someone just to tell me to stop buying cars or coming up with stupid ideas, or maybe putting some reality on things to make sure that the cars do work and you guys get to see them in action. So that's also a very exciting piece. Also, you're probably noticing that about 30% of this entire building is bricked off, and there's something behind there, and I kind of want to show you what's in there as well, because we have some ideas for that too. Oh, before I show you inside, obviously we put out a video that had a very divisive reaction 2 weeks ago when we talked about the problems we had at Drift Games. Now I think you'll be pretty impressed with how we've tried to fix those in a very short amount of time. We've had to get some expertise in. We needed it. We needed space. But also I think some of the content we make might not be suitable for the main channel, and that comes down to three things that you guys probably don't like that much. One is the buying and selling of cars, whether they be personal cars or for whatever reason. The second is probably talking about money or finances. I know it always divides people, and some people want to know the inner workings of Drift Games, some people just want to watch the cars and the builds. And the third thing is everything that happens in between the main builds, like little bits and pieces here on there on lots of different cars that we generally don't show on the channel. What we've decided to do is take all those three things and now put them on our members channel. So the members channel is going to have videos every week which talk about the behind the scenes, the money, the finances, the design, the marketing, the thought process, how the business works. And I know a lot of you guys on the main channel don't really care about that. So from now on, you can watch it on the members channel if you want to get the deep inside story, and if you want to just watch the cool things happening, that's on the main channel. I think that's the best way to split it. Also, I can be a lot more personal with what I say on the members channel because those videos can't be shared publicly and stuff like that. So that's where we're going with that. And Josh, bing, there's already a video on there if you want to go and check it out right now. Right, let's check the next part of the building out. So this is the weirdest part of the building, right? We didn't even know this part existed. So this is weird because I'm going out the front to come back in the back. So the previous tenant, when we saw the building, it has these two shutters here, which are very like, just I thought it was a loading bay. But it turns out that the company that were here before us put in this like whole glass foyer, which is quite cool. So don't worry about the skip. This is actually our skip to try and throw stuff out. So we'll get to that. So we've got this big, massive glass sort of, I don't know, entranceway behind two shutters. I've never seen anything like this before. It's very weird. It's kind of cool for security, but kind of weird at the same time. But anyway, brings you into the reception area. So this is like a foyer reception area. Don't really know what to do with it at the moment. We might just put some couches in here like a chill out room. But if you guys have any suggestions in the comments below, let us know. This is a room we haven't decided anything with. Here's something that we never had at the shed. A toilet. Can you believe that for 7 years in the yard we had a brick little toilet, and Adam once did a poo and it froze over and the poo was still there 2 days later in the winter. Shouldn't have told that story, Adam, but it did. The poo just stayed there for quite some time. Maybe over the whole of Christmas, I think the poo was just sitting on top of the water on the toilet. Anyway, we also have a female toilet. So that means that one can stay clean and this one will be absolutely destroyed. This area downstairs here is going to be split into two areas. It's not split into two areas, it already is split into two areas. This is going to be the office. So this is going to be where Neil and our new master tech have two desks, filing cabinets for doing all sorts of like ordering parts, receiving parts, doing stuff, you know, keeping an eye on the cars and what they need and all that kind of stuff. And then this room, I think, is going to be a building room for the sim consultants. So Ronan, who's been kind of building his sims in our place in the middle of all the cars, has like a nice room to work in there, and we're good friends with the sim consultant guys as well. So that's quite cool that they'll be in there as well. This room was a workshop, I would imagine, for the previous tenants, because it says workshop there. So this is where their workshop was. Ours is down there. But this was obviously some sort of fabrication room that they used. We don't particularly need it for that reason. So what we're going to plan to do is make kind of a nice space here for taking like the nicer cars and leaving it, because we can put 2 cars in here quite easily. So maybe like tough lights on the roof, paint the roof black, do all the walls white, do some tough tiles on the floor, and then you can't fit a car through here, but maybe we could cut like 4 feet out of this wall, and then we get a car in there pretty sweet. So I think we get like 2 cars in there nicely. So we're back to the main space. As you can see, storage into there would be very, very handy. And then we've got a stairs that brings us to the top floor. Kitchen. It's just a sink. This room is a little bit depressing, but we're going to try and renovate it, that this is like the canteen or the lunchroom for everybody that works in the factory. It's pretty miserable with these kind of like plasticky walls, and the floor looks like a secondary school from the 90s. Nice couches though. This is my planning zone. Anyway, we're gonna get rid of these as well. And we will be doing different lighting and stuff in here. This is probably the part of the building that needs the most renovation. Someone forgot their shoes. You know when you're in a hurry out of the place when you don't even have time to put the shoes on. Oh, we got a free kettle and a few plates. You know what? This place is really paying off already. So this is the upstairs, and this is where we want to turn it into car parts storage. So our idea is to rack out this place and have it for all of the parts that we used to just throw around the place that got damaged a lot. That's a big problem that we didn't tell you about, is that we kind of have to pile parts on top of each other at the shed, and everything gets damaged. So the idea is to rack all this area here, and then we'd have everything placed neatly in labels so that when we know what we have and we don't have, it's not all shoved in a container or at the back of a shed. So this is really valuable for us. And then there's this room, probably the most special room in the whole place, Josh. This is the new Josh Holdsworth office. You've got your own office now. The reason it has to be small for you, Josh, is the larger you have a space, the more mess you create. So this is essentially giving you a smaller space so you can only ruin this amount of the building, which is good. You got a window, so we can see you, like an aquarium. We can see you, but we can't hear you, so it's quite good. So this is going to be basically headquarters for all of the media stuff that's happening in this building. We'll be fitting this all out and making it look a lot nicer than that, but it's quite cool. And then this stairs brings you right back down to the reception again. So I hope this video makes sense of how the whole place is laid out, but as you can see, lots of space. So there you have it, guys, a massive step for us at Drift Games. Still can't believe this is real life, that we're actually going to be moving in here, and all the positives that this place is going to bring to the channel, to the people that work here. Everything is going to be so much better, I think, and even the build quality of our cars can be so much better with so much more space and resources. However, there's some bad news. And the bad news is the time scale. Now, this isn't a YouTube time scale because we want to make this sound dramatic. This is that we're 4 weeks already behind on all of our cars that we need to build. And remember, those cars have specific things they need to be ready for this year for sponsor obligations, and also shows that we've promised that they would be unveiled at. That's the worry, which gives us only 7 days to completely clean this entire place, renovate it, and fit it out the way we want it to be. And we have some exciting things that we want to do that, you know how we are. We're going to not just make this it's not just going to be a grey space, right? So we have a lot of cool stuff that we want to do. So we've called in the cavalry. Every single person and friend we know is coming here this week onwards to help us get this place ready in 7 days, because over in that corner, we need 2 Ferraris working on them in a week, or else we're not going to make the deadline. We've got 2 cars with Liberty Walk. We're unveiling at Dubshed in the north of Ireland in like 3 weeks. They still need to be done. We also have the Supra, which needs to be actually completely built, liveried, tested, and sent to Europe within 4 weeks. We have to get an engine back in the Low Brain Drifters car, which we will bring to Japfest. And then once we get all of our old cars and all those stuff fixed and all those things fixed, we have 2 months to finish the 2 Ferraris and our S2000 powered Escort. That's a lot. So here we go, another massive step for Drift Games, another one that we didn't see coming a couple of weeks ago. and another one that we're going to need you guys behind us, because this is another big step here that, I'll be honest, we can't really afford, but we're just going to hope that the merch sells, and we're going to hope that we can get it done in the time. And I don't know what the answer is, but the alternative was to go backwards. The alternative was to slow everything down, and that's just not our game. That's not what gets us excited every Monday to come in and hit the week hard. So I have the best team in the world, we have the best fans in the world, and we have the best sponsors in the world. And from now on, I'm not going to be making all decisions. As you can see, there's so many other people that are going to make this channel so much bigger and more entertaining, and I'm so excited for it. So a reminder that our merch is now on sale for 7 days. If you buy a hoodie and a t-shirt, we're going to throw in a few bits extra, but we're also going to put your name on the wall in the Drift Games factory, which is like a money can't buy. There's only 250 items available, so please, thank you for getting on them so quickly. If it wasn't for all of your support over the years, believing in us every time we get to a hard point, that we can get through it, and the comments, we read every single one. Thank you so much. This is a dream come true. I hope it works out for us. We don't know, but the next 7 days, the next 7 months, there's going to be no more talking videos. It's all going to be action, because we are getting this place done, those cars finished, and hitting this season hard.